Hello.
Hello. Good day.
I
Good day.
was just died
You what?
over here eating this watermelon and swallow this seed. I need a second.
I had me a unseeded watermelon today. I ain't
Oh
gonna lie.
God.
Them unseeded
It was
watermelons, if you set them in the refrigerator, they get sweeter and sweeter for a couple of days. I was like, "Ooh, this don't taste like no GMO watermelon. This watermelon kind of good."
uh, I don't know. This little boy I had in my class told me that him and his granddaddy had had figured out how to grow the unseeded ones at home.
Unseeded ones.
That's what he said, but I don't. I think he was might have been misunderstanding what I meant.
Mm.
Hmm.
Well, he might have.
I don't know. He also was straight from the country, so
He probably. I know. I was listening to the old dude say that the unseeded ones wasn't bad. He said that
at
they
this
have been
point,
hybridized watermelons, but I
it
don't know how
really
true or
matter.
factual. At this
I
point, it
feel
probably
like
don't.
if you put it outside and the flies and the bugs eat it, it's straight.
Yeah,
Cause this
God,
some stuff the flies and the bugs won't eat.
it is. That's true.
So I don't know, cause like they can put organic and they can put non-GMO on there, but really, is it?
Is it? Because y'all mass producing it. Like, you got to think about all the whole world. Now,
I
other
ain't just going there
continents,
but laughing at everything. Shit just funny
yeah,
at this point.
right. And other countries might really actually grow their stuff, but you got to think about America. How many people live here? How many Walmarts? How many grocery
That's what
stores it
I'm
is?
saying.
Man, they
That's
probably
what I
print
get
this
talking
shit
about
out for
when I be
a
looking at
3D printer. What?
chicken. When you go to the like, if you think about, I get it. Like they be having them big chicken farms and stuff, but whatever. But if you think about all the grocery stores, all the places that sell chicken, it got to be 3D meat.
You know it's zoo, because how you feeding all these
How you
people?
get 50 chicken wings? Don't a chicken only got two wings?
Uh, right,
So
bruh.
if you got 50, okay, so say we got about maybe 7, 8 grocery stores in
Uh,
in Jackson. So if you got 50 bags of 50 chicken wings, how many chickens is that? 50 times 50, I think. I don't know. But I mean,
A
I
lot
be
of
looking at
chicken.
that.
Just like you go,
It ain't that
just like
many
you
damn
go get a
chicken.
20 piece of drumettes.
That's only two chicken legs, man.
Okay, Furious Styles.
I know,
Corey
right? Okay, come
is
through,
into
come
the
through.
building. Come on with a new nickname. You ain't want me to call you
You done unlocked
Corey.
the new character core. Hey, baby.
No, actually, that's what I end up going about on my bio on Facebook and shit.
Okay then.
Who knew? That's dope. I like it.
I do too.
Yeah, I know who that's quoted after, though, do you?
No.
Furious Styles. Boys in the Hoods. Furious was the daddy. Am
Yep,
I
yep,
right?
yep. You right.
Can I tell
Okay,
y'all
okay.
something?
What? You ain't never watched that movie?
Not the whole thing.
Ah, well, it be like that sometimes.
I just couldn't. I mean, it was. I just. It wasn't for me. I don't think. I don't know.
We watched it in when I was in the. It came out in 91 or 92. We watched it when I was in the second grade. We had just moved back to Jackson. My daddy used to volunteer at the community center in at the community center in Lincoln Courts, and they set us down and we had a movie nights, and we watched Boys in the Hood.
Well, I never. It's a lot of movies I've never seen, like the entire movie, and just sat down and watched the whole movie.
Yeah.
It got to be a really good movie for me to sit down and watch the whole movie, because I'd be like, "This boring," and then I go do something else.
Man,
But
Boys
yeah,
in the Hood is a really good movie,
I
man.
should
You
watch
gonna have
it
to
as an
sit down
adult.
and watch that.
yeah, as an adult, you probably should.
Yeah, most definitely.
It gives a different perspective. Now I tell you a movie that I couldn't watch all the way through,
They
and
talk.
I finally did. Menace to Society. Menace to Society scared me a little bit. I'm not
What's
gonna
that?
lie. It was a little too
Oh
much.
shit,
I ain't never seen that neither.
I can get that. Oh, God, tripping.
What? I have
Them
it. I just never had a
them
desire to
movies
watch
are
it. I don't know.
Mando, man.
Do I lose my
Like,
black card for that? Huh? A little bit.
nah. But
I
nah,
didn't care.
that's just a movie that you should watch though.
I should watch it. I might. If it don't catch me within the first 10 minutes, I'm not gonna finish it.
Yeah,
But I was gonna say, they came out with a
nah,
lot of those movies around that time. So it was that kind of like programming, or I
I
think a
think
lot of
it
that
was a
was
movie.
happening in black neighborhoods. But I think it was also kind of a predictive programming for us to normalize dysfunction in black communities.
Mhm.
Sometimes.
Knowing what
yeah,
we
that
know
might be true, but but at the same time though, like I feel a little different only because I realized like kind of got a connection, and
Yeah.
I speak on that how John Singleton, the director for Boys in the Hood, bro from Hoover. You feel me? Well, not directly, but he grew up in the Hoover community and shit, and that story that he depicted or whatnot was based upon his childhood and the guy that played the character Doughboy Ice Cube or whatever, where that particular character is based upon one of my big homies, man. He rest in peace, big pork chop and shit. Groove, he was from 107 or whatever, and he was a real person. And
Oh,
that was John Singleton's best friend and shit.
okay, okay. Well, I
So
didn't
like
know
me
that.
knowing the history and then, what I yeah, of course not, of course not. I didn't find this shit out until later on as an adult, of course, from making relationships from people who really from the community out there or whatever. But once finding that out, it gave me a different perspective, and that's what I was just gonna share with Cammy on both of them films or whatever. You as an adult now working with children that come from different backgrounds and different disenfranchised backgrounds and shit, it should give you perspective more than
Well,
anything.
I mean,
You
I done
feel me?
seen movies, that's similar to it. I just never seen that one all the way through.
And then it does give
Missed
a
the part,
depiction
though.
of
Yeah.
people of how things were growing up in the crack era. Like me personally, I never experienced anybody close in my family that was
Straight
on
up.
drugs. Like I haven't, but I know I have friends that have, and they were raised by their grandparents because they parents was literally walking the streets
Yeah.
and
That
was
part.
homeless. It were not homeless, but their parents were actually crackheads, like
And then yeah,
literal crackheads.
Hey.
and not only do
So
that, you know, we dealing with the Rodney King beatings, you feel me, that took place around that time period. The peace treaty between Bloods and Crips that later on came behind the Rodney King beating. Um, man, you dealing with Bill Clinton in his three strikes era. He the one who put that
yeah,
mandate in for Californians and shit, making their
so that was
time and
like a
shit
whole
stricter.
all those
Man,
movies.
it was a lot of
So
shit.
that's why I say those movies are kind of a lead up to something else. You know what I'm saying? Like they were truthful, but also they also depicted black people as this only this type of community. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
To,
That's like
to
I
me,
was
Right.
listening to Ice Cube talk about how uh rap music came into play and how it really was designed for the prison industry to really basically stay in business.
well, Ice Cube can't say too much because he was one of
No,
those people sitting in the.
and that's what I was getting ready to say. Like he played a part in it. Like I get that part, but just for him to sit and say it, and but you still,
But Bobby Hemmett and Brother Panic been said that shit years ago. So
yeah.
he's coming in, and I get it now. You
I
know,
don't
it's
think
a
it
little more
was no. I don't
transparency.
think that was a recent interview. I think it was just I seen it going down somebody's what you call.
I think it was more recent than Bro
Yeah.
Bobby Hemmett
Yeah, it
and
was
Brother
more
Panic
recent
talking
than
about it.
than Bobby Hemmett talking about it. Yeah, absolutely.
And then you had other people in the industry
Yeah.
that talked about this years ago. And him and Dr. Dre, all of these rappers that are millionaires and gazillionaires and billionaires were sitting in those boardrooms. So they had an impact on the decision. Mind you, you're sitting in these $1 million homes when the music that you put out, which did describe the community to some extent, has had a
It was
some type.
detrimental.
Yes, like, and anything about it, Ice Cube wasn't even raised like that for real.
Mm.
So I don't know. You know, it sounds good. I appreciate him giving those facts, but like you played a role in it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You
no, I'm not saying
had a
that he
hand
did
in
not play a role in it. I'm just saying that just what Corey was saying in a conversation that we was having just made me think about that
it.
interview that
Yeah.
he was doing because he basically was admitting to
Yeah.
like I don't think he was saying
I
he
challenge
didn't play
y'all
a
to
part.
look up this interview with Crazy Bone. It's on YouTube. This shit kind of
That's where
old
I
too as
got the
well.
information from, Crazy Bone.
Yeah, yeah. Crazy Bone had
I
spoke
seen
on
that.
how he was handed basically the paperwork of a meeting of execs where they was like
Yeah.
discussing where rap was headed or whatever and shit, and how they really wanted them to continue to play a part in this shit or whatever. And he said once he had got a hold of this shit, that made him forever kind of look at shit different or whatever. But yeah, but you know, I mean, every man, long as these folks don't have control, you know what I'm saying, over our shit or whatever here, that's when, you know, all this shit came into play where they most definitely um was catering that shit towards you know, us crashing out, so to speak, to feed the prison
But
pipeline and all that old
I
bullshit.
but you also it made us crash out, but they kids crashed out on it too.
Exactly.
Yeah, it
Like
made
they
everybody
never,
crash out too,
yeah,
because
they don't
everybody
ever
was
give
on
the
it and shit.
full. That's the only problem that I have with how things go. They never give the full scope of everything. They make it like we are the only ones who go through bad stuff and like we are the world's worst. Like I've been listening to a lot of people talk about what's going on with the Carnival cruise, how all of a sudden they're changing their policy because they claim it's gotten too ratchet or black people
They did
don't
the
tip and
same
all
thing
this.
with the club scene too. Probably
It
about
what?
2 years. They did the exact same thing with the club, like going to the club, like the club scene. Probably about
Yeah,
20,
they made.
25 years
But
ago.
but you know, but I was listening to a lady and she was explaining it. You know how back in the 40s, back after World War II, you know, the video was a guy talking about how black people saved Cadillac because Cadillac was about to go out of business. because the stock markets had crashed. White
Yeah,
people
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
have
They was
money.
they,
So they marketed to who? Black
right. We
people.
viewed that
And black
as a
people,
luxury car.
yes, but black people had the money to afford it. So a lot of these businesses, that's what Carnival's doing. COVID hit, people stopped going on
Hmm.
Carnival cruises. Who did they market to get people to start coming back to them? Black people. Black people saved their business. Black people saved Cadillac. Black people have saved Carnival. Black people are saving. Another example, Red Lobster was in the hole. Black people
Oh,
now are
it
doing
was with those
black people.
those
So
boils.
yes, those crab boils. So black, they know that black people will buy, and we motivate. We push the needle on everything. And the minute we push that needle and everybody follows us, they kick us to the curb and make us out to be villains. So that's the problem I'm having right now.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to get on that tangent. I digress, but we started. I'm sorry, y'all. I be getting so passionate about shit. But
I
ugh.
oh,
But I
so
said it to say we move the needle in everything we do.
absolutely.
And like, don't just depict us as villains. And pick, if you're gonna depict us as villains, depict everybody as villains. Show everybody ugly sides as well as the good sides. Don't just show our ugly side. Like we're the only ones that do ugly stuff. And black people stop being hard on other black people. Like like these ain't your people.
I agree. I 100% agree.
I digress.
Right.
Well, on tonight's episode, we will discuss matching energy and proving points in detail. I forgot to say the title. The title is Matching Energy and Proving Points. Is either one worth it? We will also analyze each tactic to determine if either one is worth the commitment. Throughout the duration of the episode, we will create examples to explain our individual stance on utilizing the tactics. And as usual, we will get off task, talk our sass, and crack jokes in our West Tennessee lingo. So, do y'all have any? Lisa, you all right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm good. I got a word. It's not a word per se. It's more of an action. To have agency. The word is agency. And when I say agency, it's for you to have personal agency. And the act
Mm-hmm.
to have agency means to have, and I got this off Google, it means to have the capacity, power, and freedom to make choices and take actions that shape one's own life and circumstances. It's about feeling like an
Right.
active agent in your own life rather than a passive recipient of events. Having agency implies a sense of control, responsibility, and the ability to influence outcomes.
That's what's up.
Okay. I'm over here struggling, trying to. Sure. Ah, okay. So I have a card, and I pulled belief, and the frequency of belief supports our sense of self worth based on our gifts and talents and the strong connection to source. So,
Okay.
That's what's up.
Corey, you got anything?
Yes, ma'am. I do or whatnot. Make it real quick or whatever. My word or on the street or whatnot that I would have to say, which is publicly known, which everybody know and you guys know by now. Of course, you know they don't free that got Sean Combs or whatnot. So to kind of tie that into us, I'm gonna ask you guys this or whatever. You feel me? Like on a serious note. Um, what do you guys think so far as in like with them publicizing and dragging dude. Of course, and I'm not here to say was he right or wrong or whatever with the whole shit, but I'm just asking you guys this, like with the public smearing of like how they love to like whether we agree with his lifestyle or not. You feel me? Him as a black man, how they publicly smear black people of a certain standard or whatever. You feel me? Now that he been cleared or whatever of those major charges, how do you guys feel like so far as in um where like about like how I'm trying to phrase this or whatever. Shit, because I had this out of my head or whatever. Dang. Yes,
As far as it relates to women, or just how it relates, just total, just
just no. Well, yeah. The totality of it all.
yeah,
You
the
feel me? With
totality of
all
it.
of it
Okay.
bunched in together.
Okay. You go ahead, Cam.
Oh, I don't like how the smear campaigns happens because I feel like, and it's somebody that's doing the same thing in all like nationalities. Like with even with him,
For
like
sure.
I understand how you could be how you can be like abused in a situation, but you still stay with the Stockholm syndrome
Hmm.
type deal. But I also understand how somebody can just really probably be just
Correct.
freaked. Like, who am I to like? That might be
Right.
what his kinks are. Like, I mean, if this is what you and your partners deciding to do, then that's what y'all decided to do. It just gets to the it kind of teeter totters along. Like, if I say no, I don't want to do that shit, but you mad about it, so now I know you're gonna beat me up if I don't do it. Then I'm probably gonna do it. But as far as all the other stuff, like the whole just putting all his business out in the streets like that, I feel like if they're gonna do him like that, then they need to do everybody that's being accused or has been accused, regardless of what they look like, put them through the same.
Right. Same scrutiny and shit.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Like scrutinize everybody because I know he ain't the only one that's doing it. I'm not justifying or saying that I agree or disagree with anything, but I
Yes.
can't see it at from multiple perceptions. Like shit, folks be freaked out, and then sometimes you might don't know. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what to do. So
Yeah.
Hey,
I
what
just
them?
feel
I
like
just
Hey,
if
what them?
one person do it, then everybody do it because it's a consistent pattern with how they do black men. But it's everybody know it's somebody
Right.
else that look another way that has done the same things that did not go through that same scrutiny. So that's how I feel
And
about
and and I think that's what I was kind of. I think that's what I was kind of pointing to, or whatever. Like I said, I just messed up on my verbiage or how I was phrasing it, or whatever. Like I'm looking at it more so like and again I say I'm not saying that I condone anything that that man participated in. You feel me? To each his own. What that man eat don't make me shit or whatever. But um I do feel some type of way of like how we so quick as black people, we so quick to shut the door on each other that that shit be crazy. You feel me? Whether
it.
we,
It's
the
scary.
person may be right or wrong, but just soon as something bad come out, motherfucker be quick. I knew it. You know what I mean? I guess that's what I'm just, what I'm saying,
Yeah.
getting to or whatever.
We don't defend each other
we don't
the
give each
same.
other grace. That
We don't.
that's
It's
what I was
none.
saying earlier. That's what I
Yeah.
was saying earlier. I don't think that we give everybody else grace but ourselves and each other. We can't
Right.
wait till another black person fuck up so we can be like, "Whoop, I'm done with them. Whoop,
Yeah,
that's it.
that part.
I knew it. I knew it."
He
And
counseled.
I have found myself, yeah, we cancel each other, but won't cancel nobody else have to do the same shit. Like these folks emasculated this man in public.
Right.
Like y'all put out all his sexual proclivities, which further lets me know that you all are mad at his sexual prowess. It always boils down to the black man's sexual prowess and stamina. It
Right.
always, just like last week. I don't know if y'all was on TikTok and that track runner was running, and his whole dick fell out of his
I
shorts.
seen it, and that shit was
And it
not
was
cool.
like they kept replaying it. At first, I was like, "Oh, damn, okay, juicy." But then I was like, "Damn, they really is on here passing
And
this
that's
man dick
it's no
around
and
on
it's
the internet."
demeaning. But
Yeah,
they
they
do
didn't pull
women
it
like
off.
that too. They do what's her name? Angel Reese the same way.
Right. Like this is a young man. Like y'all should have took that shit down. Anytime it's some other naked shit, y'all take it down. But
Right.
y'all on
I
here
done
letting this
rolled this
man.
man hoe. And then they made it seem like he was okay with it. Like, look at that smile on his face. He knew all
No,
three
he was
legs
running
run. Like
fucking
that shit
track.
wasn't cool. If that was my son, I would be mad as hell.
Right. So it boils down to they really are fascinated with black male sexuality because to me, all that trial did was it exposed Diddy's proclivities. The
Yeah.
whole point of the Mann Act was started back when Jack Johnson was driving across state lines with a white woman that he was married
Yeah, there
to.
you go with
So,
Right.
Jack Johnson.
so
Yes,
that the
yes,
history behind the whole Mann
yes,
Act
yes,
is
yes.
fucked
They had to
up.
put it
Very fucked up.
it's tailored towards black people. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, it's tailored towards black people, man. That was their way of trying to keep they constrict on our movement, especially when it came to fornicating with they women. Most definitely, from Jack Johnson to
exactly.
Chuck Berry.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yep.
Yes, and so on and so forth.
Right, and so they're just mad because Diddy was fucking Cassie Ventura, who is a little Mexican Hispanic, like nothing against no one other nationalities. She's a cute light skinned girl, and then the other girl that he was banging out was a little Filipino. So, in my opinion, they were pissed off about that. Like
Yep.
when he was fucking them black girls, it wasn't no big deal. But you start crossing into they folks, it's a problem. So you hit him with the man at.
Mm-hmm.
So people
Yeah,
need to know their history. Like the Mann Act was basically to control black men's sexual prowess. And in reality, black men aren't as freaky. They're freaky, but they're not as openly, outwardly freaky about it than they
Like,
are. Yeah,
man.
man.
Adventure Damn Pornhub hole to show you that shit.
right.
Man,
Like they
come
have.
on now.
For
Man,
real.
you can hey like on a serious note, you can think of the most gross
And it's
and
on there.
inhumane acts when it comes to
I
Right.
sexual
remember this video
behavior,
that was
and
rolling
you look
around
up
Facebook where that
but
man was screwing
right,
that
but
dick.
when you
And that was on
but right,
Facebook.
but when you look that up and when you look that up, look who's the person who's participating in that shit and not trying to necessarily draw a line in the sand, but I am, damn it, because you feel me.
Right. And those are their proclivities. So, in my opinion, when I say this, they are obsessed with black men's sexuality because a lot of them will go over to the other side and they want to dibble and dabble in that. They like that. That's weird. You watching another man and want to know his sex life. That ain't none of my business. If that man use Astroglide and baby oil, let him Astroglide and baby oil the fuck on. Now, I only time I would have a problem is if it was young girls involved and they could not prove that.
Or
They could
young
not,
boys.
or young boy, right? Underage kids. They couldn't prove that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that Cassie isn't a victim or the other young lady, 50 Cent baby mama, isn't a victim. They are victims. But starting off, you knew what the fuck it was.
You was a willing participant.
Exactly. And based off the testimony of those guys that they were, I feel bad for the guys because they were being prostituted, not the women,
Man,
not Cassie.
exploited like a motherfucker.
And I have a problem because nobody is talking about that. Everybody talking shit about the men, like, oh my gosh, you this and that. No, these men were victims. Why are we not discussing how they were victimized by Diddy and Cassie? The one dude suing them because Cassie gave him an STD and she got pregnant by him and aborted the baby. So he's suing.
Mm.
So if you're gonna be fair, because those men that were flew out, whatever, they were victims too.
Most definitely.
And they were black men. Couple of them was
And
white, but
why
most of them were
and
black
and
men.
and and why they trying to make the man act solely about women? Men get participate in that shit whether willingly or you know what I'm saying, or against their will or not. You feel me?
Right. And then the money that they were paying them was kibbles and bits. Like, come on. And not saying it would be okay if they paid them more money, but like, seriously? So that's the problem
Right.
I have. But once again, it all
A
goes
drop in
back
the
to right.
Yep.
It goes back to emasculating black men and really putting a magnifying glass on their sexuality, and I don't like that.
I don't either. It's
Agree.
somebody that's gonna match that little freak, but I feel like when you start dibbling dabbling off in other stuff, that's when like issues come.
Right.
So
But they were exploited. And like I said, Cassie was exploited too, but shit. In the beginning she was with it.
yeah, yeah, look.
Everybody saw that money on them
And then also,
green.
y'all, real quick, y'all, man, my apologies during my first of me explaining Boys in the Hood, man. I made a small mishap on the name. Man, it wasn't Pork Chop, it was the big homie Fatback, man. May he rest in peace. But again, that's who the movie the character Doughboy in Boys in the Hood was depicted behind one of my big homies. His name was Fatback, man. May he rest in peace. Bro died of cancer in 2017.
Okay.
Yes, that's it.
Interesting. I didn't know that. And then John Singleton died in like 2021. And the crazy thing is he died after he finished like the first or second season of Snowfall. And on Snowfall, he was delving into how the CIA played a role in bringing drugs and creating crack
And the crack era.
Do
in
you
the
think
crack
he
era.
died, or do you think he died?
He died. Yeah, he died. I don't
Yeah.
know. No, I don't think he
How about
died,
do
but I
you
mean,
think he? Oh, okay, then that's what I.
he had a stroke. I know he had a stroke and he was in the
Yeah,
hospital on life support for a long time. So it's no telling, but he was exposing like those of us who do the research and who've been listening to stuff for years knew this, but a lot of people didn't
Mhm.
until he exposed it. And
yeah.
he exposed a lot about how the government was a role. And then your boy Bill Clinton, I don't know if we've talked about this. I feel like we have. But Bill Clinton was the biggest dope dealer in America, y'all. When he was the governor of Arkansas, he had
Man,
if
right
he
after,
had
right,
now go ahead, Corey.
yeah, no, I was just finna I was just agreeing with you because little do people know like how we watched that old game banging in Little Rock or whatever when the Crips and Bloods was making their way from out west when they first hit Texas, they hit Arkansas too in the early '80s or whatever. So man, Arkansas caught the first wave of crack game banging and
Yes,
man a whole
yes,
bunch of shit. Little do people know.
yes. Because Bill Clinton and all of his associates that he dealt with have all come up dead via suicide or drownings before he became his associates before he became president. But he actually had pilots, private pilots that were his buddies flying in planes from Colombia and the war that they were having down there, getting drugs from the guerrillas in all these countries, and they were flying drugs into Arkansas, low key undercover, all under Bill Clinton.
Low
So
key
people always
high.
want to right. People want to talk about Ronald Reagan and Republicans. Come on, Democrats too, all of them.
They all run together.
Man,
So really, one ain't well, you can't have one without the other.
It's okay.
most
Two
definitely.
wings of the same bird. That's it.
Man, what they open two.
And then all of that goes into, even though we segue into a whole nother conversation, but like on a serious note, all of that segues and correlates into us why to this day I will always say, even though I know I don't think no time soon in our lifetime, unfortunately, we'll see it. I would hope so, but all that goes into why we deserve reparations, man. Y'all motherfuckers played a fucking part in in a
Yeah,
dismantlement in the demise of countless black and brown people in this motherfucking nation since day
yeah,
one. God damn it, since day one, on a
right.
diabolical term, from redlining, and man. From zoning, from running freeways, breaking up neighborhoods, man. You feel me? Bombing neighborhoods, man. The Tuskegee experiments, man. I can go on and on. Motherfuckers are diabolical, but I digress in
That
my
shit
Right.
homegirl
crazy.
words.
Right. We just trying to put y'all on to a little game. It ain't much, but it's a little something so that you
Man,
can know, like
it get
it's
wicked
time
out
for
there.
right. It's time for us to give each other grace. Like that's all I've been preaching for real. My entire life, I have learned that grace is important. Always. Like it's always important when you're dealing with your own.
Right.
Like we extend grace. You have to be have grace for yourself and grace for those that are around you that look like you. That's just
Yep.
it. That are in your community. Because now is the time we need each other more than anything. Like we have had a whole separation from COVID. People was cutting people off. Like I have never seen this many people. And I get it. Sometimes you have to cut your family off and cut people off if it doesn't mean you no good. But you still have to have a little grace. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to understanding where people are when you have done the work and you're on a certain level. And I'm not saying that you on a higher pedestal, but if you've done the work and you're dealing with people that you know have not done the work or don't understand, sometimes you got to meet them somewhere.
Yep. And that kind of that statement that you made could lead us into talking about whether you want to match energy or proving a point.
Right. And really, you ain't got to match that energy because motherfuckers' energy be fucked up. But you still have to. I feel like you know where their energy is. You can
Yeah,
still have your energy, but deal with them on a different level because everybody ain't understanding this.
it's
Like
not.
everybody's not understanding. Everybody's understanding level of understanding is different, and some of us have more understanding and understanding than others.
I agree.
Most definitely.
100.
Cause of it's hard out here. Like it is hard. Like love on the people that love you. Love on your people. Like for real, cause people is leaving out of here. Like we are not tethered to this earth. You still have a soul, and your soul needs that connection. Like shit.
Thanks.
Like I feel like we're turning into people that we are not. Like black people have always done been individuals, but we've always had that connection to one another. We that connection, just like on what's that movie? Man, with the blue people, Avatar. They
Yep.
always connected to the earth. They keep
Yeah.
they kept that wherever that planet they was on, they kept the flow of things. You know what I'm
Pandora.
saying? They kept yes on Pandora. They kept that flow. That's who we are. We are the roots. We keep this shit afloat. And that's a lot of pressure on us, but that's always who we have been as a people. And when we start getting disconnected and our roots start getting chopped off, this shit starts dying. And you can feel the vibe in the air. You can feel it, the energy.
But what causes those like disconnections? Do you think?
Because a lot of people want proximity to something that's not
Self.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And
You
I was
want
just
to, you,
and I
and
was gonna say that in a nutshell and just in a different way or whatever.
yeah. And that's the same thing as matching energy. You're matching energy that's not your energy.
Exactly.
Like you're wanting to be in proximity to something that has nothing to do with you. It's not related to you in any fashion or form. That's not you.
Right. Like I can quote this. When I first came into the culture around 2016, 2017, or whatever, you feel me? A lot of the songs were still popular, with people I'm a savage and all this type of shit, you know what I'm saying, where people are taking upon something that has nothing to do with you, period. Even at my lowest as a black man, I could never participate in savagery. It's below me or whatever. You feel me?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
we
I
embodying
think it
some
started
shit that
before
has
that though.
nothing to
I
do
think
with us
that
or
music
whatever.
I think that music is an
Right,
aftermath
right, 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 right. But
generation before.
right, right. No, 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 no. No, I'm not saying like like that particular time period. But I'm just saying in general or whatever. You feel me? Where
Yeah.
people tend to embody, what I'm saying, the shit that they hear or see or whatever that has nothing to do with them. You know what I'm saying? Per se. Being a savage has nothing to do with me to the core of me as a black man or whatever. I have never, as a black man throughout history, I have never participated in savagery or barbaric acts
Hmm.
or whatever. You feel me?
Right.
Later on in life, the thug image is an image that I or and other black males have picked up. Really, we got that behavior from European behavior. Still, again, some shit that has
And the
nothing to do
thing
with
is,
us or
y'all,
whatever. You feel
and
me?
thugs still
Uh,
had some type of heart and kindness. All the thugs I know. I know it's some ruthless ones out there now, but all the thugs, the
Right,
guys that
right, right,
I knew
right.
that were
Still,
so called thugs,
right,
still had some humanity in them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
right.
whose
But
energy
when I
were
say
they
that though,
trying
you
to
feel me?
match though?
I'm mostly speaking up on the negative aspect of it. You feel me? When I say that and shit though,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because I'm thinking of like, what's the first? Not what we understand. You know, the hate you give. You feel me? Not what we understand what thug means. No, like what they
Yeah.
identify as a thug. You feel me?
Yeah.
Again, that
Yeah.
that behavior and don't have shit to do with us or whatever to the core of us, none whatsoever. Like
The
I had
original
quoted what
thugs
I
was
said to y'all
mafia
one time and
members.
shit. Yes, exactly. That's what I was just gonna say. Like I had one of my favorite questions to ask people when I talk to white people, my fellow colleagues. I asked them, um, when you think of the word gangster, what do you think of? And I'm like, I want y'all brutal, honest truth. And they kind of grudgefully and painfully say, well, Corey, forgive me for saying. I'm like, nah, say it how you mean it, or whatever. They say, black people or whatever. They think of you know, a modern day rapper with a big chain and gold teeth or whatever. That's what they think of a gangster. And I'm like, cool. And I'm like, well, you want to know what I think of when I think of a gangster? And they like, shoot. And I tell them, I think of the La Costa Nostra. You feel me? I think of mafioso. You feel me?
Hmm.
I think of Italian suited dudes. You
Yeah.
feel me? And one of my colleagues, they asked me, they were like, well, why do you say that or whatever? Because I was like, those were the first gangsters from Humphrey Bogart and so on and so forth. You feel me?
Hmm.
Al Capone. Y'all, America idolizes, you feel me? Um, um, that type of lifestyle or whatever. Y'all put it in movies. Martin Scorsese got Oscar award winning awards for writing about this particular lifestyle. And us as black people,
Hmm.
we admired and identified with their struggle so far as in coming from the streets and creating this thing of ours, as they called it. You feel me? And made some of themselves. And so us as black people, we identified with that and we tried to copy that to a certain extent. But once we identified and copied something that wasn't ours, you feel me? That's when, we get to where we at now. You feel me? But
Hmm.
yes,
I agree.
in my humble opinion.
Try to match somebody energy that ain't yours.
Right.
And I came up with I was the reason I thought about that is I was listening to a girl on TikTok and she was saying y'all always talking about matching energy. What if that energy is diabolical? And then you done match some energy. Now you done
Going
went
to
down, you
jail.
done went to hell.
Or
Huh?
jail. I
Right,
said,
Or
you
jail, right. Matching
matching your
energy.
own energy, you going to jail.
Right. Stay in your own energy.
right,
Right.
And she was speaking in terms of like it was more on a toxic level of matching energy. Motherfuckers be like, "Oh, this what you want today? This what I'm gonna be on today." And she was like, "Wait, I ain't got to be on that just because they on that. Fuck you. Let me do
I be
me."
laughing at people now, and I used to match energy. Well, I ain't gonna say, well, yeah, I would match energy, but I also mirror people. So
Hmm.
I don't technically think that's matching energy,
Hmm.
but I know that I can match energy. But I also like when you wrote about this and then you put in there like proving the point. So do y'all think that matching energy and proving point is that two different things?
No, that's the same thing. You're matching energy to prove a point to this motherfucker. Oh, you want to go to hell? I can go to hell too with you.
right.
That's proving a
Yeah.
point. That's what I meant by that. Like
So
you finna match energy.
if you take it and you put it on a positive aspect, as into matching energy, do you think that it's cool to match energy when it's on? Like, say, if it's something where you with your partner and it's on some positive shit, or you with your friends
Yes.
and it's on. So is that matching energy appropriate? And does it matter? Like, does the scenario matter?
I think it's appropriate when it's something that's going to improve and help make things
It's
easier and better
beneficial.
for you.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Like when I said you matching energy to prove a point, you matching energy, you finna go low because they're going low just to
No,
prove a
I
point, and
understood
you
that
finna
part.
yeah, but you finna drag yourself to hell. Like no, we not matching energy, bro.
Yeah. So that means when you trying to match energy, on a negative aspect is not worth the that commitment, as in saying, because some people will do it and they'll do it for weeks and weeks at a time.
So yeah.
But if I feel like if you are gonna match energy, or you trying to not necessarily prove a point, but like say I am who I am and this is the person that I am, and dealing with somebody on a positive aspect, then I think that it's okay. Like if they're doing this and it makes you feel this way, then you should reciprocate this shit.
Right.
Yeah. So scenarios matter
Yes.
when
The
it comes to
scenario matters.
matching energy and the people, because everybody, you ain't got to match everybody energy. I be laughing at folks and walking out.
Right. Some people you just need to let them be in that energy and you know that shit and be like, look, I'm gonna holler at you later, bro. Not
Man,
finna, you not finna.
I'm not
Because
feeling
and I'm
that.
saying that because and it back to what I said earlier, shit is hard, y'all. Because once you go low, to me, in the times that
Hard
we're
to
in, when
come
you go
back.
low, it's hard to pull yourself out of that.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't know if it's like I said, I just feel like black
Don't
people,
be worth
we
it
used
either.
to, huh?
I said it don't really be worth it. Like you expending all
Yeah,
this energy, because all that is just a whole bunch. All you doing is matching somebody's emotional roller coaster.
yes.
It's a
And
negative
that ain't even
aspect.
your stuff.
So it's not your shit. Like just
Hmm.
yeah. I think I agree with what you're saying as far as that on that aspect.
Yeah,
So
and that's what I feel like. Like I said, it's time to, like I said, and I always say this: COVID took us to some low places, y'all. Like for real. I don't know what that was in that shit. I don't even know what they got. They damn near accomplished what they was trying to get accomplished with that shit. Like for
I think
real, for
it was
real.
just a separation that they were trying to accomplish.
And sometimes you need a separation, but sometimes like they did that shit all wrong, bro. That shit was fucked up. It was foul.
Yeah, I
And
think it was.
people have not recovered from that. Like now we are so separate in everything that we do, and that shit is scary to me, bro. Like you can't tell me this is healthy to be separated in everything that we do.
What you mean by that? Like, give me an example.
I mean that everybody is just so quick to just drop everybody and everything. Oh, I gotta have my piece. This is just like it's no community to me.
Yeah,
It's no vulnerabilities. It's no, and we talked about this last week. But it's like it's no vulnerabilities. It's not okay to be vulnerable. But as
no,
humans, you
it's
need
okay
that
to just
vulnerability.
cover that shit up and sweep it under the rug and then act like nothing never happened.
Right.
I don't think that's healthy.
I don't either. I won't either.
So, so how do you do if you if so? What do you think? Like, do you think that it's proving a point if you say, I don't think that it's healthy to act like nothing ever happened? Hold on. Okay, sorry. I don't think it's healthy to do that though. To just act like nothing ever happened. But back to what I was saying, back to the proving of the point. Do you think that it's slick, like you trying to prove a point if you trying to get somebody to understand that it's not beneficial to just sweep shit under the rug?
Um, you can be if you go too far with it.
Yeah.
I think if you explain, give them the aspect, and when they're ready to come aboard, do what they need to do, then they'll come on with it. But when you're trying to be super persuasive and not allowing people their time to process it, then I do.
Yeah. So in that what you're saying, if you know what I'm saying, gotta allow somebody time to process whatever that is, if you're removing yourself from that setting, do you think that that's like a form
I
of
don't
like
think you necessarily have to remove yourself. You just sometimes you say some shit to somebody and be like, they'll pick it up on their own timing. A lot of times people do, and then sometimes we may feel some type of way because they may not give us the credit. But you put a bug in their ear to get it started. You know what I'm saying? But don't expect any type of credit
But I
from
don't
it.
think you should ever have expectations from anybody.
Right.
Because all you're
If,
gonna
if
do is
we
end
shouldn't,
up
but as
mad.
humans,
But
sometimes we do.
you also have to take in consideration how shit makes you feel.
Mhm.
I think, in
Right.
my opinion, because if it just like not to know, oh, I gotta protect my peace or this type like that lady be like that one therapist. I can't remember what her name was talking about protecting your peace can also be like not beneficial because you're not really dealing with anything. But I still
You're
think
being
to a
avoidant.
certain extent you still have to protect like your peace of
Yeah,
mind
I like
to a
her because
certain
she
extent.
talks about how people are becoming avoidant
Yeah,
by
I don't think avoidance
separating.
is good, but I do think sometimes you do have to remove yourself from situations.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So
Right.
in totality, I think that we all kind of can agree on that matching negative or energy that's not beneficial or not for you is not good.
Hmm.
But if it's like on some
Nah, none
bullshit
whatsoever.
type shit, then it's okay to match that energy. I
I
think
don't
so.
know. Like, I guess for me as a dude or whatever, like, especially again speaking to me coming into the culture, because that's when I discovered energies, the history of things, and so forth, and so have you. Excuse me. But me personally or whatever, and I'm just speaking for myself and where I'm at with things. I just can't get with or whatever matching no energy. I'm just on, especially me overstanding my higher self of thinking
Hmm.
versus my lower self of thinking. And I feel like me participating or stooping to your level again, those the key words in that stooping is to lower yourself or whatever. Me paying attention to the words that I'm using, I'm not finna do nothing to lower my morale or character or whatever. Cause so I can be
Right.
stuck on the plane that you're on or whatever. Like, no, I
Hmm.
get what you're saying so
That's what
far
we
as in
were saying.
mirroring
No, that's what we were saying.
because
That we don't
women,
think it's not good to lower your energy to match somebody, but it's okay if you're out to match to try to match somebody else or at least grow into an aspect of where somebody's energy is a little bit higher or like
right.
positive
But like,
type
no,
shit.
what I was finna say is though, like what you had said or whatever, you feel me, like with mirroring or whatever, I can
Yeah,
somewhat agree on that because women, they historically they say or whatever, women, a woman is a mirror of her counterpart and shit or whatever. So
right.
I can get that with you guys or whatever, you feel me? But for a man to mirror another's energy, I ain't gonna lie, I'll be looking, nigga. Excuse for folks out there. I'm speaking in our own vernacular, but man, nigga, what the fuck wrong with you, man? Like you matching and mirroring energy, man. I would say as a man, you feel me, bro? That's feminist. Like, what the fuck is you doing? You know what I'm saying? Because most men and women too. You feel me? Because I grew up with a direct mother or whatever, a person, a woman that's super direct or whatever. She ain't finna sugarcoat no shit. If she feeling some sort of way, she gonna speak on it or whatever. And she taught me that or whatever
Yeah,
to
I'm
have a
probably
voice
not
or
gonna
whatnot.
sugarcoat too much neither.
So let me ask y'all this: do y'all think that sometimes you can match energy when you're not trying to on a negative level if you are not aware of your own emotions? Like being empathetic. They say well,
Oh yeah,
empaths
did of
feel
course.
everything.
Yeah, you
So
can take
do you
you
think
can
it's
pick up on
possible?
somebody else's energy, especially if they have big energy.
So that means you have to be self aware and know your own.
You
self
have to
and
be able
your
to
emo.
differentiate between your energy or your feelings, your thoughts, emotions versus somebody else's, because you can converse with somebody all the time and then you'll end up taking on what they have to say or what they think. Well, not necessarily taking it on, but you'll be taking it into consideration when it's not your thought process. Not saying that
Hmm.
I mean, it can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing, because if you have a strong mindset, then you'll be able to be like, okay, well, I don't need to do that because I don't like the overall totality of what this person is, how they're, you know what I'm saying, how they doing or whatever. If you don't like that part, then why are you taking it on? Or it could be like a person that's everything that they saying is negative, negative, negative. So now because you're listening to them, then it's gonna be your mindset will kind of be, you know what I'm saying, it'll affect you to a certain extent. So you have to be able to
I
separate
and I
your
agree. I have had to
yeah,
learn how to do
Yeah.
that in relationships. Mama, I said
yeah.
good.
You're not gonna take out.
Because in relationships, I and like you said, Corey, with women, many times we match energy
Yeah.
for real.
Or
Like we
mirror
take
you, not in a bad way.
right.
And
It's
women
not a
take
bad way.
points
Right,
too.
right.
I'm gonna
We
show this
take
I
yeah, and
think
it's not always a bad thing.
I,
it's
but yeah,
not, but
right.
sometimes it can be.
And that's what and that's what I was gonna say as a dude, you feel me, who's receiving those energies from y'all or whatever, you feel me, and those mirroring attitudes or whatever. But I don't necessarily think a woman in a negative. Now, can it be negative? Yeah, you know what I'm saying, depending on the situation or whatever. But 9 times out of 10, I really think when a woman, when y'all are mirroring or like, you know what I'm saying, showing a motherfucker like nigga, this is you or whatever. Like you doing this, you're doing it to show like, hey man, you need to correct this shit. Like I'm gonna project your
Right. When
energy
you
on you
working,
to
it's
show
what
you,
you
motherfucker, that
doing.
shit ain't cool, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
agree
feel
with
me?
that.
To
And
get
I've done
to
that
get us
before
to get
as a woman.
to,
Yeah, think about that shit, big dog.
right, right. To
But
get us
sometimes women
to have a moment of
we just do it
reflection. You feel me?
automatically.
Yeah. What you say, Corey?
To get us to have a moment of reflection, because once we see that, we gonna reflect. Like, damn, is that me? Is that how I come off or whatever?
Yeah, this is exactly what you did. Let me show you PowerPoint style. That's just me.
And most of the time women carry the vibe
No,
anyway.
I think it's a lot of women. And- But
Yeah.
but you want to know something? Why I think why women carry the vibe, and this is my own hypothesis on this shit or whatever, because y'all the harbor of energies. And what I mean by that, you feel me, as a man, we spill seed, we spill energy off into you. You feel me? That shit just don't wash out after y'all squat on the toilet or go in the bathroom and take a shower or whatever. No, that energy, my secretion, it stays with you. So therefore, like sometimes as dudes, we can be like, we may not say it to y'all, but we might be like, damn, man, she kind of said that kind of like me, or like, or y'all might come at us. And again, most dudes, we ain't finna say you right or be like, babe, whatever, woo, woo. But like, y'all can come at us on some shit like, nigga, I know you did woo, woo, whoop. And you feel me? And y'all say it's y'all womanly intuition. True enough, yes. But also, too, being scientific and being logical, I spill seed. I spill my essence, part of my DNA. DNA is data. I'm spilling my data in you. You feel me? So
So
therefore, you
how am
go
I not
catch
supposed
on.
to understand you if you giving me how to read you? So once you have given that
Right.
to
That's
me,
what I'm saying. So like I
I can
admit when
yes, I'm gonna know when your breath has changed. You got an attitude, you don't feel good. I'm gonna notice all of that because you've given me the information to read that.
You got my girl over here laughing when you said that. She bust out laughing. I guess she felt it.
Saying a high five. Yeah, I don't say. But for real, you giving me like I already know. So, you got an attitude. Now I ain't got an attitude. You a lie. Your whole body posture has changed. You usually breathe like now you breathing like so now I know you mad.
And I'm gonna say this for women: as a woman, we get
Cause
the
I'm
wrong
paying
with the wrong
attention.
person, bruh. We start looking like that person. We start taking on
Yeah.
they features. Be looking like tired race horses
Do you
because
hear
we
me,
done got with
Dusty?
somebody who did not, whose energy was not for us.
Hey.
He was a Dusty. Yup. I'm tripping. Okay. I be on TikTok. That shit be cracking me up. I don't be doing shit but laughing, y'all.
Me too. I remember laughing. I done started watching. I don't know. Like I said, TikTok be going left though.
It do. TikTok
TikTok
is
has
a rabbit hole.
Right.
man. TikTok will be funny, then you'll mess around, and it has somebody dying, and they was this a picture. Man, that one trips me out every time. I cannot. It'll be like this was me when the doctor 3 months ago when the doctor told me that my pain was just regular stomach aches, and then it'd be like 3 months later a picture of a casket, bitch.
I see. I
Why do y'all do that?
I don't know.
Where was the update? This bitch done went from I feel well straight to the
Right, and
casket.
the update be like, oh yeah, and then the update would be like a picture of a casket, and it'd be like, I really had pancreatic cancer. Well, only 3 months to
Man, this
live.
motherfucker don't roll.
Oh God.
Right, man. This motherfucker done rolled over. God damn. Ain't give us no
Right.
time.
Right. TikTok is morbid. It's funny, but it's morbid.
It is. It's dark. I be toe up laughing now. That should be funny to me.
I be
It's
I
like
be trying
TikTok
to
feed.
to, to get into TikTok. Well, for one, for one, I had to delete it, and I say this because I had to choose. On my phone, I got hella music or whatever through my Spotify. So much, I got like 10,000 songs, like over almost 500 hours of music or
Oh
whatever.
God.
And my phone specifically gives me an option. I know, right? It's the soundtrack of my life. But anyway, um, it gives me an option. It tells me either delete music or keep TikTok. And I say, God damn it, well, TikTok got to go, man. Cause I don't be operating on this shit. And and you're right, it'd be such a rabbit hole of shit. I just don't be knowing where to go. So I kind of stick to my reels and YouTube and yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah.
TikTok feeds your dark. TikTok feeds your your what's the word, intrusive thoughts. Seriously,
I think it just feed
TikTok.
whatever the hell you be looking at.
Nah, I think TikTok a little more deeper than them other ones. Instagram, you can kind of tell when they were switching up on you. It would hit a certain time of night. Instagram try to get everybody on the same page as far as certain stuff. TikTok does not. TikTok curtails it. To me, it curtails to my
It
subconscious.
Individually,
you
you.
feel your it's
Yeah,
called a for you page for a reason.
I know, but like I said, I get it. When you saying it's going based off of what you watching and what it's suggesting, but to me, TikTok goes into my intrusive thoughts. Me
Yeah.
personally,
I mean, yeah.
my thoughts that I really ain't trying to think about right now. Y'all going too far, bro. Really in.
Yeah.
But I digress.
But no, I be appreciating TikTok though. You feel me? I love like you say how informative it be. Like you say, it do get deeper than a lot of my reels. But I like to say this too though. When people be like, Facebook or Instagram be toxic or whatever, I challenge them and I tell them it's all into what you tap into. I
It's
know
what
on my
yeah.
news. Right. I know on my news feed where I'm a sneakerhead, I see a lot of sneaker shit. You feel me?
Yeah.
Where I'm a historian and history type person. I get a lot of that type of shit catered to my page. A lot of science shit because that fascinates me, and plus I
Yeah.
look it up. You know what I'm saying in my
I don't
search
have. I
in my
Mhm.
create
search
a lot
bar.
of
So
animals and nature and shit.
what you say came out the
I said
right,
I be
right, right. That part. You feel me?
there's the stuff that I'm interested in. Like everything else, I'd be like, I don't want to watch that.
Yeah, for me, I'm late to the
Man,
Facebook
right.
game.
And
So
I
for
hear
me,
I
Facebook it's Facebook kind of curtails based off of your friends and who your friends are, how much they post and what the fuck they be
true,
posting. Like Facebook
I
gives
think
me
it,
true,
some
it
of the
true,
things that
curtails
true,
I
off of
like.
what
true. Yeah,
off
yeah,
of
yeah.
what you like.
It get it no, and Facebook give me some of the things that I like, but it also when I don't be
I'm
thinking
saying
about folks,
what you click like on.
I try not to like stuff. I only really be liking y'all stuff. Other than that, I don't give a fuck about nobody else stuff because it don't really be. It's like Facebook pull up some random folks that I ain't really just like why
Yeah,
y'all? And it's weird because
Cool
Facebook
with
will send me
it.
emails about people that really ain't my friends. They
because
be
that
like,
means
oh,
when
that,
you active, it wants you to interact with those people.
but
That's
I ain't never interacted with these people, even in real
And
life.
it don't matter. Or that means that either be
and
interacting.
Facebook know if I Facebook know that you a new operator or whatever, so it's trying to encourage you or whatever. That's what it's
Yeah,
doing.
interact with these people.
It's trying to encourage you, man, to be more of a socialite.
I guess
Yeah,
so, because that just be so suggesting like, hey, such and such just posted on their page. Go look at it, bruh.
mine be doing that with threads, whatever
Give
that
a fuck.
is. I don't want that. I don't want to follow the same people on 13 apps.
Yeah, I don't want threads, man. Why that shit keep popping up on me, man? That's another goddamn app to
Then I
download
tried
that
to
I can't have because of my music. No, goddamn it.
exactly, and then I tried to get into Twitter. Twitter is just like I don't know what Twitter is. Twitter is like a
Yeah, I can't get into that
the
either.
vibe of Twitter is yeah, it's weird. Like back in the day when I did Twitter, Twitter was like Pornhub times 1,000. Like it would be cool in the beginning, and
It
then
is
if you
like
was
that
on
now.
Twitter past 9 o'clock, who
Is it?
Twitter?
I don't
Because
know. I ain't
I
hey,
can't.
most of the whether y'all know it or not, I know it. Wait, I'm finna tell y'all something. Whether y'all too respectful, smart man, ladies tap into this shit or see it or not, but I'm gonna tell you, and that is a lot of the links that be on some
that's
freaky
Twitter,
shit
ain't
that
it?
be on Facebook or whatever. Th- those be Twitter links. You feel me? So
Oh,
Twitter
I
most
knew
definitely
that
still with
because
the
it's X
shenanigans,
or
but
whatever, right?
now right, but now Mark ass, he just don't get no fucking. He just let anything fly on Facebook. Because at first, man, you couldn't see nothing pornographic, nothing sexual, nothing like that on Facebook. Now, man,
It's full of smut on
you're
Facebook.
subject to scroll and tap some, and man, what you said,
It's
girl,
so
smut,
damn
no,
smart.
Facebook. Because that's Facebook is what my parents be on, and mind you,
man,
they in their
X
70s.
rated,
Be
girl.
looking at that too.
But yeah, Twitter used to be like that. Twitter was like,
It's
don't
so
be on Twitter past 9 o'clock because you finna start seeing booty cheeks clap and the JJs all on your timeline.
Yeah, I'm straight. I ain't know. I had Twitter when I was in school. I think that's the only time. I never just created one.
Yeah. Yeah, I was in Twitter in 2015, 2016, and baby, that's all it was. Leg booty
I never
clapping. I
one
was like,
more
oh,
year.
you would?
I can't remember what I know. It was when I was working on my master's degree, so I don't know. Maybe
Yeah. That's
2013 or something like that.
yeah, that's when I got one. I had to have one when I was getting my master's because she was like, oh, y'all, I want y'all to tweet out your
Yeah, I'm
exercises
not
for the
gonna do that
day.
stupid shit. I don't want to do that. I hated that class. You had one of those. You got to get on Twitter classes too.
Yes, I had one of those. I had to get on Twitter and post mm, all my YouTube videos. I had to do YouTube videos for that class and post on Twitter.
I
Hey,
seen
I got a
Hey, but that
question.
was kind of. I, I have to say though, that's kind of dope though. They were trying to teach
Yeah, they
y'all
try.
like Right, like look what y'all doing now, both of y'all. You feel me? Like both of y'all seen that as mundane at the time and shit, but like look what y'all doing now though. You feel me?
What we
Yeah,
doing?
and I
You
get
know.
it. It gets you to be that she wanted us to be interactive because I did online grad school, so
I
they
did
she felt
too, but
like,
mine
oh
was mixed.
yeah, she wanted us to be interactive with our classmates. But I got a quick question. So I be thinking about all them fine
Right.
papers that I wrote in grad school. I wonder if they be stealing people's papers and publishing that shit and
Right.
getting
I
money
wrote
off
a
of it.
36-page paper on recidivism. I know somebody got this shit somewhere.
Somebody got that shit. God damn.
I still get it though.
I
Hey,
still got it.
that's a
Mine
good.
too.
Hey, that's a good ass question. What do they do? What do they do with all that info? Hey, now that's a rabbit hole. So hold up, let me
Yes,
perk up my
because
phone. Hold up, like it's a microphone.
Well, I'm
So,
gonna tell you what
so
they
look.
will do
So I
in
think
some classes. You can't take the work that you've already used and reuse it
I
because
know, but yeah,
they run it through their
but what do
system
they do
where you
with it?
can't
Because when you turn it in, it's their property.
run it. It is. I don't know.
correct.
Me
So I think
personally, I
now,
probably
if
would
I
throw
had to
that shit
guess though,
away.
if I had to think or guess now in the way shit going, I would think that they harboring all of y'all papers, some of the great thinkers and test scores. I think they harboring all that hardware and feeding it to some sort of AI brain or some sort of engine to
They
get them the
do.
Hey,
They
more
do the
that's
perspective
right
it.
on
thing.
human
You
thoughts and
can't
the way
take your
y'all think.
paper. You can't take your
Yes.
papers that you've written and use them in another class.
You can't, but they
Because they
can.
gives
Shit.
AI
They
more
That's
didn't put all
what
that.
I'm saying.
scenarios
So, but
to
he was
read
saying he wondered
people and shit.
if they're feeding them into a AI system or whatever. The only way that they'll know that you're using your own paper is if it's fed into there and when they go and
Yeah,
use that. So yes, they're feeding it into something now. What they're doing with it after they feed it in there, if they like putting it together and turning it into works or a way to study something, that part I wouldn't doubt it. But when
because
you
if you
look
think
at you
about it,
get
a lot of
so
those
much
papers,
Yeah, most
information though,
definitely.
just a grade. Like I don't even to be honest, I don't even think they really be reading all that shit. I honestly think they go through and be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs, 100.
I don't know. Mine used to read mine and used to give me detailed feedback on mine. Where on mine, I had one
Because
African
some
lady.
of that
That
shit
motherfucker
be
was so
busy work.
mean. She
I
was
think
so
it
mean,
depends on the
bruh.
teacher. Cause I know when I did my research methods class, he read all that. He read all of our stuff and commented and told us where to fix it and this and that. I just think it depends on whatever that class is and the instructor.
All my instructors in grad school read my papers and to the T and corrected all of them joints and gave
I had a
detail.
lot of other stuff where I had to do like utilizing different tactics to encourage engagement in a class and like that type of stuff. I don't really think they was reading that shit.
Yeah, but that's a good.
But
I
papers,
thought
yeah,
about that, but like, what do they do with this stuff? Like, that's my creative in my mind. That is my creative works. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my intellectual. What do they call it? My intellectual. What they be saying?
I don't
Damn,
know.
it's a word. That's my intellectual credits. My intellectual something that came from my mind. So what y'all doing with the shit that came from my
Creation.
mind?
Right.
No, it's just a word for it.
I
I
say,
can't
man,
think
if
of
I
it.
had to guess, man, they they taking all this shit,
They
man, and
probably
making
selling that
some sort
shit
of
to
big
pay
ass
up front.
brain
Yeah,
That's
this
what
is
Chat
my
to
intellectual
make
GPT
where it
property.
can
does. The
analyze
whole
people thoughts and shit
accumulation of
better.
papers. Like all the information when you go on there and people be asking Chat GPT or whatever that shit is. That's probably where that comes from.
They need to give me my money then, man.
Man, do you hear me? Because I know I
Give my
contribute
money or wipe out my damn school debt shit.
at this point.
Cause y'all always got rights to my intellectual properties.
Whew,
And I want my shit.
I'm
Well,
sleepy.
anyways, guys,
Let me read this thing.
I'm
Y'all got anything else to say? Oh,
nah
matching
man.
energy, improving points.
No, no.
I ain't out here trying to prove no points, man. I'm just trying to stay alive. That's all.
I be
Trying to
laughing.
feed my
It
family.
be funny to me. What you say, Nafisa?
I love it.
What?
What you just say?
I don't know. I'm just trying to feed
So
my
she
family.
ain't
I
trying
ain't
to
got no
prove no
points to prove
points. She
nothing.
trying to stay
I ain't got
alive.
trying to stay alive and feed my family, man. That's it.
I feel you. Me
That's
too.
all I'm trying to
I
do,
just be wanting to laugh. That's all I've been doing lately. Cause shit.
man. And love on my people. That's all. It's all. That's all I want to be. It's love and
Cause
love on
it
everybody
really
else.
ain't it really ain't nothing else to be. But look, that's the reason why I say I just be laughing. Like when I say I just be laughing, I don't mean like laughing at people. I mean I literally just be laughing
Yeah.
because
Sometimes we need to laugh.
fuck it.
Shit.
That shit be funny. Like if you I don't know, it just be funny to me.
It
But
do. I look like a middle aged lady, y'all.
you will.
I look like it. I be eating my ass off, y'all.
Surely
I look
not.
like
I done
Surely
been
not.
started I put my hair in some twists. I ain't never taking this shit down.
I look like a middle aged lady.
I got shit else to do.
Just the way you say it,
So
man.
like,
I'm middle aged. Like technically, you almost half a century, dog.
bruh, and the really middle age is 40 because niggas don't be living past 80. The average age is 76. So if you make it to 35, 30, make it to 42, I mean 37, 38, you
You
middle
was good,
age.
huh? You was
Man,
stupid.
you is there. Somebody wiser
Man.
than me.
For real. So, I
Man.
uh, I am root of your root, soil of your soil, bone of your bone, and blood of your blood. To the families of the Shanklins, Jones, Fuller, Merriweather, Curran, Johnson, Dodson, Morgan, Davis, McNeil, Hill, and Crutchfield, we thank you for your guidance, protection, wisdom, and clarity. We understand, overstand, and understand the strength and power that's being provided to us. We accept the responsibility of the gifts passed down to us. We walk in your strength and power today and every day, Ashe.
I say
I
amen.
swear
And
to
let the
God.
church say
Amen.
amen.
Now reach and tell a neighbor,
Uh,
such and such.
huh?
Nah, I was just saying what a pastor would say. Now reach and tell your
Oh, turn
neighbor,
to your neighbor.
something he would say at the end of church. Yeah, and
Okay.
turn to your neighbor.
And
But
say
yeah,
Ashe. Do you
but have
hear
a
me?
good one, dog.
All
Right, right.
right.